Good morning. I would first like to invite you to present yourself and your university program.
Yeah, I'm Professor Jim Saker. I'm one of the faculty of the School of Business and Economics at Loughborough University.
All right. And what makes your program unique and different from all the other ones?
Well, when it comes to MBA programs, most of them are very similar because obviously to get AMBER accreditation, you have to meet certain criteria. In our particular case, we have two fairly distinctive features. We offer a European summer school for advanced management, where in fact the students can in fact study with MBA students from around the world who come to the UK to then study for 2 weeks during the summer. We also offer a second year alternative, not option, but you can sign up to do 2 years where you study for your MBA in your first year and then you do an internship in a UK company, but also you can do that on a student visa.
Mm-hmm. That sounds great. The next question is in terms of applicants and what questions should they ask the business school representatives so that they make a good impression during an interview?
I think they should always ask informed questions. One of the real problems is if we get somebody in front of us who in fact doesn't know anything about the university, knows little about the business school, doesn't know very much about the programme, and they ask basically fairly naive questions. The real issue is that you should prepare, have a knowledge of the university, the business school, the programme itself, and be able to ask questions that are meaningful.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And apart from that, what are some other common mistakes or things that applicants could avoid during their application?
Sometimes they underplay their industrial or commercial experience. Some of them say, I did 3 years here, I did so many years there, without really giving you the context of the achievements they actually had. They tend to put in their CV just something which is a statement about what they actually just were there for. You know, this is my job role, but they don't tell you what they've actually achieved.
Mm-hmm. All right. And is there any part of the application package that can compensate for a low test section score and also vice versa, a high test section score to balance a weakness in the application?
In our particular case, we don't have the GMAT test. So therefore, what we're looking for is primarily the academic qualification, the original undergraduate qualification, and also the experience that the individual has actually had. So we don't trade off one against the other. We're looking basically for those two items.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, how important is the GMAT score for getting into your MBA program?
It has actually no role whatsoever.
Right.
We don't accept GMAT as an indicator of the quality of an MBA student. We don't think it's appropriate.
All right. And is there any particular reason, or would you care to elaborate?
We think that the undertaking a success in a GMAT simply indicates that you're good at doing GMAT. It doesn't indicate anything very much about your quality. Also, parts of the test are very difficult for somebody who's got English as a second language because it's looking at the nuances within the English language, and that becomes difficult because it may be able to do the numeracy sections, but it's actually quite difficult in some of the other sections. And so therefore, from our point of view, it's much better just simply to have an English language qualification as opposed to the GMAT test.
What about the financial support? Do you offer financial support to candidates, and what is the most important part of the application package for getting a scholarship, for example?
Our scholarships are very easily prescribed. We do it pure and simply on the academic qualification. If somebody's got a high degree from a recognised university from their own country and experience. So therefore we give a scholarship depending on the academic position that they're coming with, but also with the length of experience they've actually got. So in our particular case, we're looking for a high degree plus something like 5 years experience. That combination gives a very positive scholarship.
How should candidates ensure that the recommendation letters will serve their purpose in front of the MBA admissions committee?
The major element is to get somebody of really recognisable quality to write that. Try to avoid simply a line manager. Try to have somebody who's got a status in the organisation but also knows you, because that is a really powerful combination, because it gives the, not gives the impression, but it shows that you've achieved something that's been recognised by senior management in the organisation that's writing the reference letter. You don't just want a line manager who says, oh, he or she is okay or very good. You actually want something with a bit of substance, but from somebody fairly high up or senior in the organisation, if at all possible.
All right. And finally, what do you look for in a CV, resume, and how is it different from a job application?
I think we're looking for both the academic background, because we believe that an MBA programme has academic rigour, and so therefore you're looking for somebody with academic competence, possibly good skills in numeracy, obviously ability to write and get good literacy in that perspective, but also the ability to demonstrate that you've got that experience which is relevant to the study you're going to undertake. So therefore the combination is the powerful one. If somebody over-indexes on both of those, that's a really powerful application, because what it's doing is it's saying, I've got a good strong academic background, but also I have the relevant experience that I can actually contribute to a class. Because obviously within an MBA program, the real learning comes from how you interact with other people, not just from the kind of academic faculty, but actually that interaction with other students, and you learn so much more, especially internationally and culturally, about how business works.
So is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, I think one of the interesting things about Loughborough and Loughborough University is that it's the largest single-site campus in Europe. So it's a bit like an American campus in that respect. It's very much a community, and we have been number one for student satisfaction for a number of years in the UK. It's very popular from that perspective. And that kind of view kind of permeates the MBA programme, because what we're looking for is selecting individual candidates. So we are less impressed. We don't have an essay type approach whereby you write an essay saying how committed you are and all this type of thing to the programme. What we would do is when we receive the application, we have an admissions officer who will in fact contact you directly, and we will talk to you and get some idea of what you're looking for, and making sure that you match us and we match you, etc., that there is that kind of empathy which is working. We only recruit up to 50 people currently on the programme, and that's deliberate because we want everybody to know everybody on the programme, but also the students to actually know the faculty very well. And that interaction breeds a family feel, which is one of the big strengths of Loughborough.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.